He's extended to a 10-point Chicago lead. Light pressure by the Bulls. Wilkins asking for help and lost it.
As sparkling as Gerald was in the first half, he's lost it here in the second half.
Jordan forced into a difficult shot by Vandeweghe, but Purdue is right there again. And Will Purdue has come up solid. In fact, to the point where he has kept Bill Cartwright on the bench.
The Knicks have elected to go with speed with the shorter lineup, but they sure miss Oakley when you see a play like that.
Knicks call for time with 7:40 left in the fourth. Instead of boxing from the days of, as you know,
Sonny Liston,
right?
Muhammad.
Very good. Back to the subject of Muhammad.
On the radio, I listened intently.
And as you pointed out, it's a week from Friday night in Lewiston. No apologies. 7.5 left in the fourth. Another steal. That's 12 steals by the Bulls. Jordan with 6. And Jordan stopped. Steal number 13. Showing the sloppiness of the Knicks and the quickness of the Bulls. Mark Jackson has returned. He played briefly in the first half. Five on the 24. Grant. And Ewing getting to it. Patrick Ewing, only 5 for 12 from the field. Only 16 points. Ewing working against Purdue. Jackson. And the foul on the Bulls. It's on Pippen. His third. Second team foul on Chicago. Well, a new steal record for a series has been established by the Chicago Bulls. They now have come up with 37 in the 3 games and counting. And away with the head fake on Grant and lost it. The Bulls have smothered the Knicks. Nice play, though, to knock it away from Pippen. He thought he was fouled.
That steal record, Marv, certainly began in the first game in that embarrassing 41-point defeat when they had 15. Pippen had 4 in that game himself.
Will Purdue was fouled. It's on Trent Tucker. The last time the Knicks beat Chicago, January 15th, 1990, here at the Garden, Matt, off the Trent Tucker 3-point field goal with 1/10 of a second left. The Bulls took 4 out of 4 in the regular season, including the first 2 of this series. The Bulls have won the last 9 against the Knicks. Knicks have lost 15 straight in Chicago. What a solid performance by Will Purdue, 3-year man out of Vanderbilt, off the bench for 11 points and 7 rebounds.
That's Will in his size 21.5-inch shoes have really come on very big in this game, and he has never failed to deliver, it seems, when he has met the Knicks this season. Time may be limited, but he always seems to be noticeable and effective against New York.
Foul called on Purdue. Good pass from Jackson to set up Vandeweghe. Crowd of 18,021, and that is a disappointing crowd because this is a playoff game, and that is short of a sellout, and it tells us that people do not believe in what has been a troubled ball club right throughout. The New York Knicks not able to sell out for a playoff game here at the Garden.
He's the most exciting player in the NBA as well.
Just under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth, and the Bulls lead by 13. Here's Jordan, whipping by Ewing. Purdue is there again, and the Bulls now lead it 94-79.
Patrick has become so, it seems, afraid of committing fouls that in a situation like that against Michael, you think he might try and waste one just to stop him.
Here's Tucker. Bulls lead 94-81. Ewing with only 2 fouls. Ray Armstrong for Scottie Pippen. 8 on the 24. Jordan shakes Jackson off and hits the deck. He'll go to the line. It was fouled by Tucker. Michael Jordan 3 for 3 from the line. He's 14 for 28 from the field. Charles Oakley checking in.
People took note in the first 2 games that Michael only averaged 15 shots a game versus the 22 he took during the regular season. Well, tonight he has certainly come on strong and reminded people that he will not be low-key throughout a series, and he has certainly burst loose here. Michael also in a very interesting position. It hasn't been since 1971 when the player who has won the league scoring championship has played on a championship team. That goes back to the days of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when the Bucks won. He led the league in scoring and the Bucks won the championship. 20 years since that has occurred.
22nd timeout called by Maurice Cheeks, again in trouble by virtue of the Chicago trap. 4:55 remaining in this fourth quarter. And the Chicago Bulls appear to have it comfortably in hand with a 96-81 lead. And we're reaching the point of this ball game unless there is a tremendous turnaround where we are seeing the final minutes in the Knick careers of several players. And also you have to wonder about the Knick coaching future of John McLeod. There are going to be many moves after the playoffs are over for the New York Knicks. Moves made by the new front office contingency of Dave Checketts and Ernie Grunfeld. It is a 15-point deficit as the Knicks are facing a sweep at the hands of the Bulls. Rebound to Jordan, and he saves it. Pippen getting to it. Darryl Garretson also took a bump, and Phil Jackson is claiming that the Bulls had called a 20-second timeout. Apparently they did.
Omar, since the upset victory of the Knicks over the Celtics last year in Game 5, the feeling was, as most fans know, that the Knicks had enough, had the base of a team for the future. And that win over the Celtics in 5, in retrospect, certainly deceived the future of the team. And now the Knicks are finding out, and perhaps it is, they're finding out what really they do have, and perhaps it is best that the Knicks go quietly for the future of the franchise.
Interesting concept. So you're saying had they been swept by Boston or knocked out 4 or 5, changes might have been made then, and perhaps there would have been more of a feeling of desperation. So you're looking for euthanasia here also, huh? Is that the idea?
Well, I think most fans know this. I don't think it's particularly deep thought.
Yes, for you, John, it's very profound. Bulls with a 96-81 lead. Nice pass from Oakley, and Vandeweghe will go to the line. Pippen picking up his 4th. We're down to 4:19 remaining in the fourth quarter. John Starks replacing Maurice Cheeks, who leads with 11. Vandeweghe is 10 for 11 from the line.
Jordan has gone into a new phase of playing the game. He is now working the sideline. The people in suits and ties.
He's checking on what some of the columnists will be writing tomorrow. Just talking, see a little animated conversation with Pete Vesey of USA Today. There's Michael Ford here in the fourth quarter. And the foul called. Knicks over the limit. Oakley picks it up.
Interesting, too, how Michael saves his best for the second half now. 2 times in a row, he has come on in dramatic fashion. Pippen stole the show as an individual performer in the first half. Michael said, the best for last, and that's what people remember. It always seems they remember what they saw last. And that is why Dave Checketts, the new Knicks president, and Ernie Grunfeld will have a lot to work with now, in a sense that they know what they have to do and what they want to do very clearly to upgrade this team.
Well, I'd have to say, looking at this Knick effort, they did play well in the first half, but this is not a club that came out with fire in their eyes. I have the feeling that this club, knowing that they will be split apart with no great feeling toward each other, is hopefully is able to hit home. That both understood that they're going home, and no great effort here on the part of the Knicks.
There hasn't been tremendous emotion on this team throughout the year, Marv, as we have witnessed, certainly. There hasn't been a team love or confidence. They have been a team that has spurted throughout the season.
Here's Jordan for Pippen. And the Bulls now lead it 99-84.
It always comes back to talent. That's the bottom line.
Talent and the right people surrounding each other, and they did not go into the season in that manner. As Oakley is fouled, Jordan picks it up. Turns out it's the wrong group. The word chemistry is overused, and lack of talent, obviously, in certain areas. The perimeter game has suffered throughout. They have defensive deficiencies. Oakley to the line. Down to 3:22 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Bulls now lead at 99-85. This is a Knick team that went 39-43 during the regular season. The only under 500 team in the playoffs.
You know, Marv, as you know, Al Bianchi is here tonight. He was in town doing a radio interview, as you know, with your NBC buddy Bob Costas on Sunday, and he stayed around for the game, and he came around and visited with people before the game. I thought that was very classy of him to not act as if he's a defeated guy. You know, he came around, said hello to people, and smiled and looks good, and I thought that was a nice, classy move by him. He didn't hide, which is the feeling that many executives have when they are let go by an organization.
24-second violation. Timeout has been taken. We'll be back in a moment. About that.
Now I can say that my focus is on the Knicks versus the Bulls, and that's where my focus is. And we have our hands full with a team that's a very, very good team that's focused, and this is where my concentration is.
If I went on the air and said John McLeod met with Notre Dame officials over this past weekend, would I be wrong?
I would say to you that my focus right now is on the Knicks versus the Bulls, and this is what I want to talk about, and this is where I want my attention and energy to be.
Well, I guess John McLeod did not want to answer Al's question.
Nice for John in the situation that he's in to be sought after, as it appears he is. It's also interesting, Marv, no one ever talks about the assistant coaches. You know, usually the head coach appoints the assistant coaches, but Paul Silas, Jeff Van Gundy, and Bob Salmi also have a lot to be concerned about right now. And on a personal note, I would just like to say I've never had the pleasure of working with a finer staff than John McLeod had this year, and Stu Jackson also in that category in a very big way. Terrific people to work for, unselfish, sharing of their knowledge. It certainly made my position a lot easier.
Yeah, a terrific bunch. Unfortunately, the wins and losses did not come. That is not always the reflection of the coaching staff. Here's Paxson. But yeah, I agree, right from Stu Jackson on. It's a great bunch of people. And whether they will return or not, a major question as Tucker hits the three. I would think it is unlikely. I would think with new people coming in, they want a new image. And I understand both sides of the picture there. John McLeod is an excellent professional coach, classy guy, and from Dave Checketts and Ernie Grunfeld's point of view, you want to start fresh. And John McLeod is not their guy. Here's Paxson. And And the Bulls with a 101-88 lead as they wind it down. This crowd has been kind, I think compassionate. I was expecting more of a negative reaction should the Knicks go down, and they have not gone down strong. Purdue able to hit. Will Purdue with 16 points, along with 10 rebounds. He has not allowed Bill Cartwright to get back into the game. 103-88 the score. Here's Ewing. And he does get the sarcastic roar. 18 for Ewing, who has had another invisible ball game. 103-90 as we come up on 1 minute to go in this 1990-91 New York Knicks season. And it will be the Chicago Bulls and the Philadelphia 76ers in the next round of the playoffs. Sixers knocking off Milwaukee 121-100 as they swept the Bucks. Ewing, 103-92 with 40 seconds remaining.
Bulls thought they'd get a break. They expected Milwaukee to win this one tonight. They were looking to a nice rest should they win this game, but much to their surprise, and anyone who observes the NBA, the Sixers have really come on strong.
Chicago Bulls making it 10 straight wins against the club they have owned. And that's an intriguing series. Charles Barkley going up against Michael Jordan. And now Gwinnett, Mustaf check in. Ewing and Stark sit down. Livingston back on the floor. Michael Jordan will depart. Jordan put this game out of sight with a red-hot third quarter, and he leaves with 33 points. 19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan hears it from the crowd.
As much of a team effort as it was tonight by the Bulls, in many ways you can make a case for he was the difference.
Here's Jackson for Mustaf. 103-94 Bulls. Down to 10 seconds remaining. Crowd has been filing out throughout the fourth quarter. It is a three-game sweep for the Chicago Bulls in methodical fashion. The blowout in game number one will count no. As Pittman hit from center court, he banked it home, but it will not count. The Bulls win game one by 41. They grind out an 89-79 victory on Sunday, and they win here by taking over in the second half, 103-94. So this New York Knicks season has concluded. They go 39-43 during the regular season, and they are wiped out in the first round of the playoffs by the Bulls. And the question is this the last we will see of John McLeod as the New York Knicks head coach?
Those who have had the pleasure of knowing John, if that should be the case, will certainly miss him. As John Cirillo, the Knicks director of communications, said to me a couple of weeks ago, he said, I've met a lot of nice people, but I don't think I've met a nicer person in my life than John McLeod. And it's nice to think that he's being referred to now as a basketball coach alone, not just a nice person.
Final score again, the Bulls 103, the Knicks 94. We'll be back to recap in a moment.